Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac and we are back for episode 34 of my modded survival island. Last episode we started working on our new magical crop setup within this compact machine over here. And what I've gone ahead and done since the end of last episode is basically duplicate the setup that we did with the Certus Quartz seeds for iron, gold, and copper. And we also currently have the empty compact machine for tin as well, but that doesn't currently have anything within it. But all of these are set up in almost exactly the same way as the Certus Quartz. Of course, these three, unlike the Certus Quartz, don't need the mechanism machines in order to get the Certus Quartz crystals out of the Certus Quartz ore. But one thing that I have done for this one in particular since the end of last episode is added 8 efficiency and speed upgrades to both of these enrichment chambers here, which has made them so much faster than they were before. So we're actually getting a nice amount of Certus Quartz come through. It's still not fast enough to keep up with how fast the farm is sending stuff through to these machines here. And also we're getting a bit too many seeds as well, due to the way that you get multiple seeds every time that the plant is broken. So we might have to figure out at some point in the near future what we're going to do with all of those excess seeds. But for now, this is working out really well. We have a ton of Certus Quartz crystals. We've got over 1,000 iron, which once we put that through some of our ore tripling systems back in the overworld, I'm actually going to take some to do that in a second. Once we put that back through the ore tripling system, that's 3,000 iron ingots, as well as about 600 gold and 300 copper. And the reason why we've got less gold and copper is, first of all, I made them after the iron farm, but also you get twice as much iron as you do gold or copper. You only get 4 gold and copper ore per 8 essence, whereas you get 8 iron ore per 8 essence. So we're always going to have more iron than pretty much anything else, maybe apart from the Certus Quartz over here. But that is what I've gone ahead and done since the end of last episode. I do intend to as time goes on, kind of add more and more of these compact machine setups, and basically almost maybe fill this wall or fill this room with these compact machines, just making us all kinds of stuff. Also, I did not do this on purpose. You'll see that all of these have the outputs to the left. For whatever reason, this compact machine decided that it wanted to output to the right. I didn't do it just to annoy those of you who like things to be symmetrical. I personally like things to be symmetrical, but unfortunately this did not work. But that is fine. That is completely fine. Today, what I want to work on is I want to work on being able to access all of these caches from the overworld. Now, there's a few ways we could do this. We could set up a bunch of tesseracts, like we could set up like a tesseract in here and just pump everything into it, and then have a bunch of like hard drives or a bunch of caches back in the overworld to accept them all. But what I want to do is I want to do something a little bit different. I want to work with the ME Quantum Field Ring and basically set up a portable cross-dimensional bridge between our AE system so that we can have all of this stuff here accessible within these caches from our AE system in the overworld. That's the plan. To do that, we're going to go back to the overworld, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to set up a cobblestone generator. Now, for those of you who have never set up the Quantum Field Ring before, that might sound absolutely ridiculous, but we need an absolute ton of something, and cobblestone is one of the easiest things to get. So the question is, do we currently have any transfer nodes? We do not. So to start with, to make our cobblestone generator, we are going to need a transfer node. This guy over here, fairly easy to make if you have the resources, which apparently we do not, but getting a block of redstone as well as some of this piping is actually fairly easy. We are going to need to get some stone and cook that up. One thing I also did between episodes as well is actually move the alloy smelter and the slice and splice up into these walls here, and then I used the covers from thermodynamics to cover up the pipes behind them, because we have the redstone flux ducts powering both of these guys here. For those who don't know how to do that, by the way, because I had some questions on my other series because I didn't show how to do it, basically the way you do it is you make what are known as structure ducts. If I type in thermodynamics, so over here, these structural ducts, you make these, which are really easy to make. It's lead and iron nuggets, and then once you've got some of those, all you gotta do is combine them with any block you like. It might even work with iron ore, and you can make covers for basically anything, and then they will nicely slot over any thermal expansion or thermodynamics pipes you have, like so. We could cover up with this, with these brick covers if we so wanted to. I don't really want to, so I'd rather take this all back and just do something like that, but that's basically how I did that. By this point, our stone should be pretty much done. I'll leave the rest of that in there because we can never have too much normal stone. Let's make ourselves some slabs. We'll throw that in there, and then we should be able to make ourselves the transfer node, I think. That's going to allow us to make the piping, and I think if we put glass in the middle, that gets us the normal pipes. Maybe it's on the outside? It is cool, we'll take that. I'll make a few of those, because why not? Then all we need is a chest, and we are almost good to go, but we used all of our stone, so let's take that, throw that back into the system. Boom, boom, boom. Nice. Now, we could have used an ender pearl and got 4 of those, but I don't think we're going to need that many more transfer nodes in the near future, so I didn't want to waste any of our ender pearls. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to have to set this up somewhere. Now, it's probably only going to be temporary because we don't really need a permanent cobblestone generation system. And so what I think I'm going to do is kind of set it up like in the floor here or something, which is going to look a little bit ugly, at least for the time being, but it's probably only going to be here for the remainder of this episode, and then we'll get rid of it between this episode and next. So basically, what we're going to do here, we're going to grab some cobblestone to stick in the middle, and then if you put lava and water either side with a transfer node with a world interaction upgrade in it, it will go ahead and basically generate cobblestone. So we need some lava. Thankfully, we have this lovely tank just waiting to provide us with lava. We'll stick that down there, and then we're going to make some world interaction upgrades. Now, the way that this works is it produces 1 cobblestone per cycle, I guess, per number of world interaction upgrades that you have. So what I kind of want to do is make as many of those as possible. So preferably, we would have 64 of those. Now, we do have a lot of iron here, which is very nice indeed. How much lapis do we have? I think that lapis is something that we have quite a bit of. Let's have a look. Lapis. We've got 568. So to be fair, we probably could go ahead and make a stack of these if we get enough iron from our ore tripling system. Although we do currently have 1,300 iron, so we might actually be able to do this even without that stuff. We do also have a ton of oak wood, so making all of the sticks here is not going to be a problem whatsoever. We've got 11,000 oak wood right now. That is a little bit crazy. I'm not quite sure why. I need to look into it, but for whatever reason, the crafting thing for the sticks is not coming up anymore, although I'm fairly certain if we look in our interface panel, we do have a molecular assembler set up to make sticks. I'm not quite sure what has happened there and why that's not working, but for now what we will do is we will just go ahead and stick all those back in there, make ourselves a bunch of sticks, and try and see if we can make ourselves 64 of these world interaction upgrades. And boom, there we go. It did use a little bit less iron than I thought it would, but we're currently at 681, so it used about 400 iron, and that's not too bad. And now, if we go ahead and stick those all into there, it's instantly going to produce a stack of cobblestone, and now all we need to do is we need to put that stack of cobblestone into a matter condenser, this guy over here. And the reason why we need this is because in order to make the quantum field ring work from applied energistics, we need what are known as singularities, and the way you make a singularity is in the matter condenser. Thankfully, this thing is super easy to make and doesn't even require any form of power to work. But what we need to do is we need to set it to this one here, to ME condenser output singularity. And we also need to put a 64K storage segment, I think is what they're called. I'll type in 64K. We need to make one of these. And this thing can be a little bit expensive because to make it, you need 3 16K ones. And to make each of those, you need 3 4K ones, and to make each of those, you need 3 1K ones. So we are going to need a lot of Certus quartz and a lot of logic processors, as well as a lot of redstone. Thankfully, we have a lot of all of those, as well as quite a lot of the diamond and calculation processors. So what I'm thinking, guys, is can we still request some of the processors? Is that still working? It is not. Why? I wonder why none of that stuff's working. That is a little concerning, but what we can do is we can grab some of our Certus quartz. I did set up this little system here between episodes and basically put 2 stacks of Certus quartz crystals into this hopper, and then it just slowly fed them into the charger and pulled out them once they were charged. So we now got 2 stacks of charged crystals. That's going to allow us to make a bunch of the fluix crystals for when we need those later on in today's episode. That's going to be quite nice. Let's quickly grab some normal Certus quartz crystals and throw those into the pulverizer. They will nicely loop back around into the AE system. We're then going to need a bunch of gold as well as a bunch of redstone. What I should probably do as well is go back in and grab some of the, let's just tell it to make, I don't want to make those because we need to, do not make those, please. I don't want you to make those. I want you to use the Certus quartz dust that I'm about to give you to make all that stuff. What we should do is go back into our dimension and quickly grab some gold ore to throw into the ore tripling system as well. Our ore tripling system is not particularly fast, but look at this. We're back up over 1,000 already. This is up to 700. This one's up to 500. And this one's up to 2,500. This one is going to need a new cache soon. It's got that much stuff in it. That is absolutely flipping crazy. But if we go back over here, this setup's up particularly fast, and what we're going to have to do between, or in future episodes, I guess, oh wow, there's a lot of stuff coming through there, what we're going to have to do in future episodes, let's like replace one of those with gold, is probably upgrade that system over there to make it a lot faster, or because it's actually not that big of a system, to be fair, once we get enough resources, what I might actually do is set up an auto-building system like that in every single one of them, so that basically, instead of getting ores out of the little farm blocks, we get actual ingots, so the ingots come straight out, they are processed within the block itself. We might do that in the future. For now, we're probably just going to work with the auto-building system that we have, and especially if we look into ore quadrupling, or even ore quintupling, where we get 5 ingots per ore, that's going to be pretty tricky to kind of squash down into those rooms, but that's all stuff that we will look at in the future. For now, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to, first of all, tell this thing to make that. I'm going to go away, I'm going to try and get all the stuff that we need to make the 64K ME storage component, and I'll be back in a second. And a little while later, now that we have 3 of the 16K ME storage components, all that we need is 1 more of these engineering processes. Unfortunately, we are almost out of diamonds, which is going to be a bit of a pain in a second once we start working on making the quantum field ring, but thankfully, what are we missing? We're missing Certus quartz dust. Let's grab some of that real quick and throw it in there. Good stuff. That should be working on that one. Cool stuff. But thankfully, we do have this guy over here, the quarry, which I had completely forgotten about until about a few minutes ago, which has nicely gone ahead and finished since the end of last episode, and has 27 more diamonds in it, which should, I think, be enough for the remainder of today's episode. So let's throw you into there. Let's go ahead and finish up this 64K ME storage component, which, if we now go ahead and throw it into our matter condenser up at the top here, the matter condenser will start to accept cobblestone. You can see there stored energy. We need to transfer 256,000 of any given item into this thing here. It doesn't matter what we put in. I could put sand in and it would have the same effect, but we need to rack up 256,000 of something in order for this to turn into a singularity. So we're going to leave that running. That is why I started the episode with this, because I want to let that go and do stuff whilst we make other things. So I'm going to leave that there to do its thing. Hopefully, it shouldn't take too long. I think it's going to take about half an hour real world time for that thing to actually fill up. But whilst we wait for that to finish up, what I'm going to start on is actually making the components for the ME quantum field ring. So if you type in quantum, these 2 over here are the items that we're going to need. We're going to need an ME quantum ring. We're going to need a few of those. And we're going to need 2 of these ME quantum link chambers. So to make this, we need some more quartz glass. Fairly easy stuff, as well as 4 of these fluix pearls, which require some more fluix dust, some more pure fluix crystals or normal fluix crystals, as well as some ender pearls. Ender pearls, I think we are almost completely fine on, and even if we're not, we do have this farm out here, which is still running. I do intend to get rid of all these farms at some point in the future, but we have 1,500 plus enderman essence right now, which we can always grab whenever we like and craft up to make quite a lot of ender pearls. Like I said, I do intend to move all of those into our little cube dimension at some point, but for now, let's just go ahead and make ourselves quite a lot of these ender pearls, stick those back into the AE system like so. And then if we grab some nether quartz, which I did go and get some more of since the end of last episode. There it is. Jeez, I got a little bit scared then. I got a bunch more nether quartz since the end of last episode. Also, like I showed you, I made a bunch more charged Certus quartz. And we also always have a nice amount of redstone. So if we throw all of those into there and quickly get out of there, that should turn into, I think, 2 stacks of fluix crystals. Almost. Oh, we got 9 back for some reason. Okay, let's finish this up if we can. Boom, boom, and boom. Did I throw something else in there? I'm not too sure. Let's throw that in as well. There we go. Okay, cool. Right, that goes 2 stacks of fluix crystals. I'm going to start by throwing half a stack right into there to start getting us some fluix dust. While that's doing that in there, let's throw you back into here. And we should, I think, maybe have enough to start making some of these. We are, of course, instantly out of any amount of fluix dust that we actually need. You are currently at 20,000. That might not take as long as I originally thought. Okay, so I threw another half stack of fluix crystals into the pulverizer because I realized we needed a ton more fluix dust, but we should now easily be able to go ahead and make ourselves 8 of those, and then I'm pretty sure we should be able to make the 2 of these that we need, like so. Nice. Now, the way that this is set up is it's kind of a ring of 8 quantum rings with 1 quantum link chamber in the middle. So, because we need 2 of these quantum rings, we need 1 in the overworld connected to this AE system and 1 in the other dimensions so that we can connect up all of the caches. What we need to do is we need to make 16 of these ME quantum rings, which is going to be a little bit expensive because this does require some of these logical processors as well as some of these engineering processors. Right now, we have 34 logic processors, so making those should be fine. We need, what, a total of 32 if we're making 16 of these, but we also need 16 of these engineering processors, which means using about half of our diamonds here to go ahead and make all of those. So, let's throw you into there like that. Do we have any more Certus Quartz dust lying around in our system? We do. I should probably be a bit more kind of liberal about just throwing these stacks of those in there, because we do have like 3,000 probably sat waiting in the other dimension for us right now. So we'll throw that in there. We'll wait for that to finish up. Whilst that's doing that, we also need to make 16 of these energy cells, which in turn are a little bit expensive, but now that we've got the fluix dust, shouldn't be too bad. Let's look at throwing maybe the rest of this into the pulverizer, because we're going to need quite a bit, and I don't know actually if we're going to need any more of the actual fluix crystals, and even if we do, we have more charged Certus quartz as well as redstone and nether quartz. So let's look at making a bunch of these. We need to make 8. Oh, we need to make 16 of these even. We thankfully have run out of the easiest thing to make here, which is actually glass. Thankfully, we do have quite a bit of sand on us. Hopefully, we have some. We don't. I was hoping we'd have some like ready in here from a previous attempt. We do have some excess sand, which I guess is nice. I should probably prepare for the next time this is going to happen, because flipping gosh knows it's going to happen like probably next episode. I'm going to walk up and realize that we have no sand, so let's go ahead and put another stack of cobblestone in there to preemptively make us some more sand. And once we've got a little bit of glass, we can come back down here. We can make ourselves some more of this stuff, again using more of this Certus quartz dust. Let's just grab a few of those, not too many, and then let's see about making the rest of these. So we're currently at, what are we currently at? We're currently at 8. We need 8 more. Nice. Okay, so we'll throw it back in there. Are we good to make this unnamed? I'm not quite sure why it's unnamed, but to make this, we need redstone, glowstone, as well as these 4 of these ME-covered cable. To make that, we need wool and ME glass fiber cable. To make that, we do need more of these fluix crystals, as well as some of this quartz fiber. Again, quartz fiber is just pulverized Certus quartz, as well as glass. So again, we're going to need even more flipping glass. Let's put more of you in there. Let's work on getting some more of, not that. Let's work on getting some more. I should probably turn this too fast. Let's work on getting some more of those fluix crystals, redstone, nether quartz, and charged Certus quartz. Thank you very much. We are running a little low on that. I did put some more in here, so I'll take that as well. And just to keep the system going, I'll put another stack in there again. There is a pig. A pig has successfully infiltrated our base. That is fine. He is welcome for now, although if he causes any trouble, or if he just walks into that lava, he is going to be toast. Pretty much literally when I say that. But anyway, let's go back over here. We'll throw you in there. Do we have what it takes to make a few of these? We need 16 of these as well, which means we need a flipping heck of a lot of these, which does mean we need a lot of wool. Now, do we have that much wool? My answer will probably be no. We do have 27, actually, so that's probably not enough, but we do have a lot of string from our mob farm, so what we can do is just make another stack of wool fairly easily, and then we should be able to quite nicely do this. How much ME glass fiber cable do we have? None. 5 is the answer. We have 5, which is enough to make 1 of these, so not quite enough. Let's start by making some more of that. That goes to 12, which again is still not going to be enough. That's going to be able to make 3 of these in total, or I guess 4 now that we've got all that. That's going to make 4 of those. We need 16, so we're going to need quite a lot more of this stuff. And what are we missing out on? That's 15. That's actually quite a bit. I think we're mostly just missing out on the glass right now. That gets us 60 more. Hopefully, that should maybe be enough. We'll take 60 of those. It doesn't really matter if we like don't end up using these, because we can use them for other things. And we have got 19, which is more than enough. That's fine. That's perfect. And boom. Hey, did it. Nice. Okay, so all of our processors from over there do automatically go back into the AE system. So we now have 16 quantum field rings and 2 of these quantum link chambers. How is this guy doing? He is getting there slowly but steadily. He's at 67,000 right now. So what we need to do next is find a place to put down our first quantum field ring in the overworld. Now, what I'm thinking is I might actually go ahead and just kind of hide it behind this wall, because there's no real need for it to be out in the open. So what I'm thinking, although it does look pretty cool, but we are kind of running out of space a little bit in here, I might, Yeah, no, this is fine. I might put it up here in the future, maybe behind some glass or something. But for now, what we will do, because it needs to be connected to the AE system, putting it here is going to be easier. Well, what we need to do is basically make a ring, not like that. We need to make a ring that looks something like this, with that on top, not that there. It's basically a 3x3 ring that looks something, if I can get it right, like this, with the quantum link chamber in the middle, like so. It'll form into a nice multi-block, and then if we were to hook it up to the AE system, probably underground, I think, or maybe even just here. Do we have any more of that ME glass fiber cable? ME glass, we do not. Let's make some more of that super quick. I think we might need a little bit more glass to make that happen. We do need more of this, which is glass. Yeah, let's go grab the rest of that real quick. How much do we have? 24. Let's move you over to there and let that cook up while in the meantime. And now that we've got that, we can throw it in there. We can grab a few more of these. I don't want to shift click, so I don't want to waste all of our Certus Quartz dust. Instead, I just want to make 1 or 2 more of these and then simply go ahead and hook it up like so. So you'll see it's online, it's receiving power. Thankfully, you only need power on one side of the quantum field ring, so we don't have to work on getting any kind of applied energetics power on the other side. We are going to have to access that again before the end of the episode, but we can quite easily break through the wall there and get it. This thing is going to take a little bit more time, but we can go back into the other dimension and set up our other quantum field ring. And this guy, I think I'm going to set up kind of like maybe just here. It's gonna be like smack bang in the middle, and the reason is that all of our stuff is gonna be connected to this via some ME cable and some storage buses. So we're gonna put these down, I guess, just like that, and hope that it works. Now we do have a little bit of time left before the actual singularity is ready, before we can hook these two up. But what we can do in the meantime is start working on storage buses for these guys, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a storage bus on every single one of these caches, which basically treats it like an external. It basically tells the AE system that it's an external chest. It basically says you can pull and put stuff into this inventory, and then it will check and it'll see, and we'll be able to access all of the stuff that's in all of these caches. So for now, we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll make one for 10, even though we don't quite have it yet. But if we go back to the overworld, I don't think it's going to be too hard for us to make ourselves 5 storage buses. I'm not quite sure why either, but every time that I come back through that out of that box, it always slows me down. I'm not quite sure what's up there. But anyway, we need to get ourselves some storage buses. These guys over here, we need 5. That basically means we need a bunch of pistons. Thankfully, pistons are super easy to come by. So easy that I feel confident making a stack of them right off the bat. How many pistons do we have? We have actually a ton of them already. We don't need to make any more. That is fine. So we're also going to have to make 5 of the ME interfaces here. Now that we have quite a lot, how are we doing on logic processors actually now? We've used a lot of those, so we're actually pretty low. Let's grab some gold, which we are again running low on. Let's grab some Certus Quartz dust, which we are running not so low on because we have almost infinite, I think. Let's start to make that again. Let's do a quick check over here. Let's see how our iron is doing. It is doing very well indeed. The gold has not quite made it through yet. It's doing its thing over here, but this not so much. That should now move over. Cool. All right, good stuff. That is working. It's working well. Let's just dump all of this iron back into the AE system. Do we have a few processors now? We do. Good stuff. That is more than enough to make a few of these. Do we have what it takes? We have what it takes to make 1. We are going to have to make a few more of both of those. So I'll make 2 of those, as well as I think 3 of those, which I didn't think we were going to have enough to do that, but we did. And then we'll make a few of those. That takes us actually perfectly to 5. Boom! We got ourselves 5 storage buses. Nice. So, again, we're going to head back over into our little compact machine here. And I think we're just going to stick these onto the bottom. It's going to be a bit of a pain, actually, to try and stick these onto the bottom because you can't really see what's underneath. What I might have to do is kind of move everything up by 1 so I can put them underneath right here, because I don't know if there's a way. I can't shrink down and put these, like, on that underneath side. Like, if I put them there, can I rotate them? I don't think I can. I can just pull them off. So, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go away. I'm going to move all of these things. Oh, I don't know if I can move the compact machines. I'm going to assume that I can. If I can't, oh, I guess, actually, you know what? I guess we could just do something like this if we put them on top. I don't want to try moving the compact machines. You probably can move them, but at the same time, if I move them and lose everything inside, I'm going to be pretty annoyed. So what I think I'm going to do instead is something like this and kind of just run ME cable up and around to all of these like so and kind of hook them all up. And then we'll kind of just, I guess, run it maybe through this middle slot here that we've made for ourselves back to that ring. It's going to look a little bit unsymmetrical and annoy me to flipping high heaven. We should probably have it run through the middle here, but that didn't really work out as intended, but that is fine. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go away. I'm going to finish hooking this up. I'm going to wait until our singularity is ready, until all 256,000 of the cobblestone has made its way into this energy storage. Just about halfway there. But yeah, I'm going to do that, and I'll be back in a second. And there we go. A little while later, it is now done. We have ourselves our first singularity. We don't need to work on getting another one, so we can take that away. We can also go ahead and, I guess, dismantle this entire setup now. I'm not too bothered about keeping the lava or water there. So, let me quickly grab some marble, kind of fill in these holes in the floor. I did that just so that we don't lose the matter condenser. I don't think we're going to use it again, but for the time being, we will keep it nonetheless. We'll throw all this stuff back into the AE system. I don't know if we're going to use all those world interaction upgrades again either at some point, but there's not really much harm in keeping them for now. So now that we've got our singularity, what we need to do is if we type in singularity here, we need to turn that singularity into 2 quantum entangled singularities. And the way that you do that is by first of all getting some ender pearl dust, which is quite simply gotten by pulverizing ender pearls, or one of the easiest ways to get it is by pulverizing ender pearls. So if we type in ender, we should have ourselves some ender dust from applied energistics. We can then take that, and what we've got to do is throw both of these onto the floor within a small space and blow them up. We're going to use some TNT and blow them up. Now, you can use full-size TNT, but there is a block within Applied Energistics itself called Tiny TNT, which I do like to use for this little scenario here. So to make this, all you need is some Certus Quartz or Nether Quartz dust and some gunpowder, so we can quickly, I say quickly, we can maybe, if we quickly get ourselves some more quartz dust, quickly whip up one of those. Let's just throw, I guess, another stack into there. How much... I wonder how much we have in the dimension now. I bet we actually have quite a lot. We probably have almost filled up that cache, to be fair. But now we've got our tiny TNT. We, of course, need some kind of redstone signal. I'm going to grab a lever. Let's fly out over to somewhere where we're going to be able to pick it up once it's blown up. That's also not going to destroy stuff. I think we will do it right about here. I'm just going to throw them both in here. The tiny TNT really does give off a tiny explosion, so it's fine. It's not going to blow up our machines over there. I didn't want to do it over on that island because that was going to go through straight into the water, but once you blow it up, it turns into 2 of the quantum entangled singularities. Nice. So now if we take this, we're going to put one of these into this guy over here like so. Boom. And we will go ahead and kind of cover this up like this. And now if we look in here, we type in iron, or we have 62 iron ore. I'm actually going to take that out of there. We have no iron ore available in our AE system, but if we go into our dimension here and we hook up the other quantum field ring, it should go ahead and light up. Maybe I was really hoping it would light up, but we might have to provide it with power. I did do some testing in a single-player world, and it didn't need power, but it might. Looking at this, it might need some power. So I'm going to put that into there. Let me go away real quick and see if giving it power actually works. Okay, so I've gone ahead and made myself a Tesseract and an energy acceptor. So, what I wanted to see is, I'm going to put it up here, and again, it's going to look a little bit iffy, but if we put these both down like so, is this going to be able to provide power? If we tick that, yes, ignore, we're going to receive power only. It has gone ahead and lit up, and all of these have gone blue, which does indicate to me that it is on. So, if we head back to the overworld and we check in our system, we should now be able to access all of those things. Oh, look at this. Yes, we have 2,400 iron ore, 1,500 gold, 1,140 copper ore, as well as almost 5,000 Certus Quartz crystals just lying around here. And we can pull these out, even though they are over in the other dimension, through that little cube world there in the compact machine. And that is pretty freaking cool. So the plan now, between episodes, is maybe to set up a few more of these. And what I'm also going to do is run a really long ME glass fiber cable, so I get quite a few of these, run that along underneath the ground here, kind of underneath all of this stuff, right around up and to this chest here. So let's quickly see about grabbing an export bus here. The plan is to basically automate the turning of that stuff into ingots. So if we can grab an export bus, do we have any of the buses lying around in our system? We do not. So we're going to make ourselves an export bus. Thankfully, it is not too hard to make. We should also make an import bus as well to take all the ingots out of the chest once they are done. And basically what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to go away once again. I'm going to make as much of this ME glass fiber cable as we can. I'm going to have to make a little bit more, apparently. I'm going to run it all the way along under the ground to our auto-building system, and I'll be back in a second. And here we go. So now out on the other side, all we need to do is go ahead and hook up this export bus over to the golden chest, as well as hooking up the import bus over here on the normal chest. I'll put it on the back there for now. And then if we go ahead and hook both of these up like so to the A system, we should then, if we grab ourselves some iron ore, be able to tell the system to automatically send all of the iron, all of the gold, all of the copper that is produced over in the other dimension to go straight to the ultra blink system, to get turned into iron, and then to come right back into the ME drives. So let's go ahead and tell it to export this stuff here. Right now we can only access one of these, but we can always go ahead and add some upgrades to our export bus. Let me quickly have a look at applied energistics. I don't actually think I've ever used those upgrade slots for anything other than acceleration cards. Let's see, what other cards do we have access to? I think it might be a capacity card that increases the number of slots that we can, or the number of items, I guess, that we can export. Let me quickly try and making one of these capacity cards over here and seeing if that works. So if we take that and stick it onto the export bus, it doesn't matter for the import bus, that's just going to pull in everything that it possibly can. Also, the sounds over here are still annoying as heck, but if we put that in there, that does unlock a few more. We probably have to put another one in to unlock the rest, but that does mean that for now, we can grab all of the gold as well as all of the copper that is coming through, and even have space for all of the tin once that is ready as well, and automatically send all of that stuff out and over to the chest over here to be processed, to be tripled, to be put into this chest, and then to be pulled automatically back through to the A system, and that should automatically pull stuff back. It is. I can put anything in there, and it will just go straight back into the A system. And that, guys, is where I'm going to end today's episode, because we now have a fully automatic way of producing almost unlimited free ores, accessing them from our ME system in the overworld, and sending them to automatically be tripled into actual ingots and sent back to the A system for us to use however we like. So, like I said, I'm going to end the episode there. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, as always, be sure to hit that like button down below. It really does help out a lot. Leave a comment as well, and I will see you guys next time.